You're watching Adorama TV.
Hi everybody, welcome to Adorama TV Product Reviews. I'm Mark Wallace. Well, today I'd like to tell you about a brand new professional level printer from Canon. It's the new Pixma Pro-1. It prints up to 13 by 19 inch pictures using a 12 ink system. Now, Canon has made significant changes to its top of the line printer, and that translates into better color, faster printing, and improved studio productivity and efficiency. Now, the Pixma Pro-1 retails for $999.99, and I got my Pixma Pro-1 a couple of weeks ago, and I've really put it through its paces, and I've set it up over in my printing station, so let's head over and take a closer look. Well, we're here in the print station, and as you can see, I have printed all kinds of images here. Now, this top row are images that I have created specifically for testing this printer. Now, Canon's brochures say that this printer allows you to, and I'm quoting, maintain every incredible nuance and color with the utmost accuracy and precision, exactly as you envisioned. Now, that's a pretty bold statement, and so I wanted to see if I could do what Canon promised. Could I take a photo and print it quickly and accurately? Now, the bottom line after all of my testing is absolutely yes. In fact, I was blown away by this printer. I was able to do things with this printer that I've never been able to do outside of a professional lab. Now, this printer gives you an expanded color gamut, enhanced black densities, and something new called the Chroma Optimizer. Now, all of this happens with the 12 Lucia pigment ink system, so let's take a closer look. I'll just open this up here, and those doors pop open. Now, the Pixma Pro-1 now uses 12 inks. There's 5 grayscale inks and 6 colors, and the Chroma Optimizer. Now, these inks are in larger individual tanks. So here's one right here. Now, these tanks are about 155% larger than the previous Canon Lucia ink tanks. And now they're stored in the front of the printer. And the cool thing is they're tubes that connect the tanks to the print head. Now, this makes it easier to replace the inks, and it takes weight off the head. And a lighter print head means faster printing and less clogging. Now, these cartridges retail for about $36, so replacing them won't break the bank. So I'll plug that back in there. Now, before we get too techy, let's talk about how these inks perform. Now, as I mentioned, I shot a few sessions here in the studio to make images that I could use to test this printer specifically. Now, what I want as a professional is a printer that's easy to use, that can hold the detail in the shadows and the highlights, and it doesn't take forever to print. I want consistency, I want ease of use, and I want it to work right out of the box, and I want great color. Now, this printer delivered all of that. So let's first talk about this series of portraits right here, these faces. Now, I set these up to be extremely dark. I have dark-haired subjects on very dark backgrounds, and I have to tell you that I was amazed when these came off the printer. Now, here's one right here. This is a printer of Michael, and you can see in the original image that there is a lot of detail in the shadows and the blacks. And I was amazed to see what this printer was able to do to reproduce Michael's dark hair against the dark background. Now, you can't see this with our cameras. Our video cameras don't have the dynamic range to show you all of this, but the amazing thing is I can actually see where Michael's hair meets the background. There is a clear line there. I can see all the shadow details underneath his hair on his forehead, and the skin tones are spot on. Now, the other thing that I did was I shot a series of fine art images right over here. Now, these are featuring LaShawn, and I brought these images into Photoshop, and using a calibrated monitor, I adjusted the saturation, the sharpness and contrast exactly as I envisioned it, and then I printed the images, and they matched my screen exactly. I'm not saying they were close. I'm saying they matched exactly. Now, for those of you who do a lot of printing, you know that this can be tricky. But the kicker, and this is crazy, is that I used the default color management to do this. That's right, when I printed, I told Photoshop to allow the printer to manage the colors, and the printer knocked it out of the park. Now, the key to this is the new OIG system. Now, OIG stands for Optimum Image Generating System. The OIG system automatically analyzes your image and determines the best way to print it. It's absolutely spectacular. Now, once I saw what the printer could do with dark images, I moved on to one of the most challenging areas of printing, and that's natural flesh tones. So we started printing out these lighter images here. Now, I printed numerous portraits and found that the color matching, once again, was simply amazing. Now, to test just how good this was, I printed out this image right here of Deska. Now the thing about this is there is a color checker passport right in the shot. Now again, this image was printed with the printer managing the color, and check it out. Here's an actual color checker passport, and I'll put it right next to it, and they match exactly. It is crazy. So there it is. There's the real color in real life, there's the color in the print, and they are an exact match. Now earlier I mentioned something called the Chroma Optimizer. Now this is a special tank that applies a coating to your prints. Now this coating brings more uniform ink height over the printed image, which regulates surface reflection, and it maintains the natural color of your printed photos. Now that's what really gives your prints an extra punch. The Pixma Pro-1 print sizes from 4 by 6 inches all the way up to these large images like this, which is 13 by 19 inches. Now it has an auto paper feed, that's right back here, as well as a manual feed on the back here for thicker paper. And the print resolution is 4800 by 2400 dpi for both color and black. Now the Pixma Pro-1 also allows you to print CDs and DVDs. So there's this little cartridge here, and I can put a DVD on there or a CD, and it just goes right into the front. And so you can print on other media besides paper, which is pretty cool. Now the Pixma Pro-1 printer is a full-featured professional printer, and for full specifications, for all the information, make sure you visit adorama.com. And if you're in New York City, well, why don't you just come by the store and you can see the printer in action.
This episode is brought to you by Adorama TV. Visit the Adorama Learning Center, where you'll find photography tips and techniques, links to the gear used in this episode, and related videos. For all the latest photography, video, and computer gear, visit adorama.com. And the next time you're in New York City, visit our store, located on 18th Street between 5th and 6th Avenue.